Have you ever found yourself sneaking snacks late at night, or hiding wrappers in the trash, or eating in the car before going home? And maybe afterwards you thought, why in the world do I do this? I'm a grown ass adult. Why am I trying to hide food? If this feels familiar, I'd like you to meet another emotional eating part, and that's your secret eater. The secret eater often operates in the shadows, driven by feelings of shame, fear, or judgment, and a deep sense of secrecy. This was my particular flavor of emotional eating. But like all emotional eating parts, the secret eater isn't here to hurt you or to cause you harm. It's actually trying to protect you. So today, we're going to uncover what the secret eater is really about, where it comes from, and how you can work with it to feel more at peace with yourself and your relationship with food. The secret eater tends to show up when there's a lot of emotion tied to food, particularly feelings like shame, guilt, or just being fearful of being judged. This part of you might say things like, I can't let anyone see me eat this, or I'll just eat it quickly and hide the evidence. It works in silence and secrecy, often trying to shield you from the discomfort of being seen. In IFS terms, the secret eater is another protector. It's there to help you avoid pain, maybe just the pain of being criticized or the discomfort of facing your own emotions around food. It uses secrecy as a shield, creating a private space where you believe you can feel safe. But while its intentions are good, the secrecy can lead to a cycle of guilt, shame, self-blame, and even more eating to cope with those feelings. So let me share a couple of ways my secret eater used to show up. First, whenever I found myself alone, the first thought I had was, what can I eat? It was like my special time to eat whatever I wanted without worrying about anyone judging me for it, even my own family. The other time it showed up for me was at work functions. I'd order a wimpy little salad because I needed everyone at the table to know that I knew I was fat and I was doing something about it. Then when I'd get back to my hotel, I'd end the night with a room service food fest. Now, I'm not proud of these things, but I'm no longer ashamed of them either, because I've learned to understand my secret eater and to work with it instead of always pushing against it. To work with your secret eater, you need to understand why it's there and what it's trying to protect you from. And that starts by looking at where this part came from. The root of the secret eater often traces back to childhood or formative experiences where food became linked with judgment, shame, or control. Think about your younger years. Were there times when you were criticized for what or how much you ate? Maybe you heard things like, do you really need to eat that? Or, you shouldn't be eating that. Now, over time, those types of messages can create a sense of shame around food, making you feel like eating is something that needs to be hidden. Or maybe food was restricted either by dieting rules or family expectations, and eating in secret became a way to claim some control of your life. If you weren't allowed to have certain foods or felt judged for just enjoying them, the secret eater might have stepped in and said, hey, well, we'll eat this, but we'll do it in private so no one can take it away and make us feel bad. This part of you developed as a way to navigate a world that felt unsafe or critical when it came to food. And while secrecy might have felt protective in the past, it can leave you feeling disconnected and trapped in patterns that no longer serve you. But there is good news. You don't have to stay stuck there. You can help your secret eater find new ways to feel safe and accepted. Think about a time when the secret eater showed up for you. Maybe it was grabbing a box of cookies and eating them in your car after a stressful day, or hiding snacks in your desk drawer and then eating them when no one was around. In those moments, the secret eater wasn't trying to harm you. It was trying to give you a sense of control, relief, or maybe even a little privacy. But here's the challenge. Secrecy often brings guilt, and guilt can lead to more eating, creating a cycle that feels completely impossible to break. You're not alone in this. So many people struggle with this pattern. And the first step to breaking it is understanding why it happens and what your secret eater really needs. The key to working with your secret eater is to replace secrecy with safety. Instead of judging this part of you, approach it with curiosity and kindness. Ask yourself, what am I trying to protect myself from right now? Why do I feel the need to hide this? You might discover that your secret eater is trying to shield you from shame, criticism, or vulnerability. And once you understand its intentions, you can start to explore different ways to meet its needs. If you're feeling judged, remind yourself that you're allowed to make your own choices about food. You don't need to justify or hide them. Keep reminding yourself of this, even if you don't believe it yet. If you're feeling ashamed, take a moment to acknowledge that shame without letting it define you. Journaling or speaking kindly to yourself can help. Shame is a big emotion, so try to give it the space it needs to feel seen and heard. Your secret eater part came about because at one time you were shamed and it went unnoticed. Giving your secret eater part attention instead of villainizing it is the first step towards healing. And last, could you create a safe place for yourself where eating feels intentional and free from judgment? Not hidden, but chosen. If you know there will be a time when you're going to be alone and would normally just eat anything, plan for it. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it's a way to say, hey, secret eater, I know you're going to want to come out and play, but instead of binging on just anything, here's what we're going to do instead. And then tell your secret eater it's okay that you eat. We're just going to do it a little more mindfully now and with a plan. The goal isn't to shame your secret eater into silence. It's to show it that there's another way to feel safe and in control, and in a way that doesn't rely on hiding or secrecy. Your secret eater isn't bad or broken. It's a part of you that's just trying to protect you from pain, using the only tools it knows. By meeting it with compassion and understanding, you can help find new ways to support yourself, ways that align with your goals and your values. Now, in the next video, we'll meet another emotional eating part, the food manager. Now, this part tries to control everything, what you eat, when you eat, how much you eat, and I'm going to show you how to work with your food manager in a way that feels freeing instead of restrictive. So if this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. When does your secret eater show up? And what do you think it's trying to protect you from? I would love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of this series. Understanding your emotional eating parts is the first step towards transforming your relationship with food and finding more peace with yourself. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.